FM или во время передачи по СМС 347 460 08 77.
Добрый день всем, кто сейчас настроен на радио USA. В эфире передача Thank God It's Tuesday с самым светлым, самым мудрым раввином нашего времени, раввином Манисом Фридманом, с которым мы проводим вот этот вот совершенно бесценный час по вторникам с 12 до часу. Он уже с нами, а вопрос, который я бы сегодня хотела ему задать. Вот у нас сейчас время нашей радости, вот эти 2 месяца Адара, 60 дней, где с каждым днем мы должны, весь мир, по идее, должен ощущать с каждым днем все больше и больше радости. Но вот как быть в такое непростое время, в котором мы живем, где столько и страх, и стресс, и неуверенность в будущем дне. Но вот как вот, чтобы сделать так, чтобы все это не мешало нам все-таки быть счастливыми и находить радость в каждом дне, и более того, делать так, чтобы она еще и увеличивалась. Вот с этими вопросами я сегодня обращаюсь к раввину Манису Фридману. Rabbi Manis Friedman, hello. Thank God it's Tuesday. Wonderful to have you with us. More than wonderful. Very important to have you with us. We are right now, as I told our audience, are in a month of Adar, which means that we're already 10 days into it. So we have 50 more days where we can increase in happiness. And that's what we're supposed to do. This is what we are ideally should be doing, but we're living in a time of stress, uncertainty, fears, and a lot of things that are coming at us from the outside. So the question is, of course, how can we not let this interfere with our mission to be happy, and how can we pursue happiness in such a difficult time?
I was wondering about that myself. How does it make sense? But then on the other hand, I thought, how does it make sense that there are so many problems in the world and your reaction is to become discouraged, disheartened, saddened? What does that help? Will that make things better? So we have to deal with the issues, which is serious, which is responsible, and which is painful. But who says you have to do that being miserable when you can do it being happy? Happiness doesn't mean you're going to ignore the facts. Let's try again. Happiness doesn't mean living in denial. Happiness means whatever it is I need to do, I will do it happily. Optimistically, enthusiastically. So actually the joy of the month will actually help us deal with the issues. It doesn't help to be depressed. So it really is not even a question of how can you be happy. It's how can you not? What are you going to become, miserable? That's not how you win a war. So particularly during a time of war, you need to be your happiest. Happy means hopeful. Happy means enthusiastic. Happy means content to do what I need to do. It doesn't mean denying the reality. That's not happiness, that's hysterical. So, the solution to the big issues, not just to the immediate problem, the big issues in the world and in life, the antidote is more joy. Unhappiness never helps anything. To be unhappy in a time of unhappiness, it rhymes, but it doesn't help.
Rabbi Friedman, it's a great theory, and it's great to understand that this is the goal, but how is that goal achievable? We still wake up every day in a world of foolishness, a world of lies. Everywhere we look at, we're being fooled, and it's becoming more and more ridiculous every single day. And how can we just wipe all of that away and be happy? Even though that's the right thing to do, no doubt about it.
But it's not wiping it all away. We're not. We're not minimizing the seriousness of the conditions, of the circumstances. We're not wiping it away because we don't want to deal with it. We're being happy so that we can deal with it properly, correctly, energetically. So the first thing is to know that the outcome is going to be great. To start becoming pessimistic about the future is losing the war. That's the first step in defeat, that you don't see a future. That's why so many people in Israel today are saying, so what's the plan? Okay, we're going to get rid of Hamas. What's the plan? What's the future? Why isn't anybody saying anything about that? We need to know. And we need to know that the future is going to be a lot better than the past. A lot better. Otherwise, all of this is unnecessary suffering. Suffering in vain, dying in vain, God forbid. It must become a lot better. And if you don't believe it's going to become a lot better, then you're not helpful. You're not part of the solution. So the first thing is, what's the future? If you think only about the present, you get depressed. If you make the story or the picture tiny, and in that tiny picture there's pain, well, then that's it. Then all you have is pain. You can't live on such a diet. So the future is going to be great. The past has been magnificent. How we survived, how we managed, how we grew back, bounced back every single time. We have a magnificent history. So the past was magnificent, the future is going to be great. It's absolutely worthwhile to deal with today's problems because you know that the results are going to be great. That's what being happy does. It doesn't make the pain less real. But it doesn't justify the pain. It justifies the activity that we have to do in response to the pain. Otherwise, the pain is bad. What we're doing about it is bad. The result is going to be bad. This is not workable. Pain is bad. What we have to do to fix it is not bad. That's good. If it's good, we should do it b'simcha. And if the future is going to be better, then it's a real simcha.
Rabbi Friedman, it's kind of beginning to seem like we're in a mode of cleanup. It's like sort of cleaning up all the messes that have been created. I mean, not everybody still feels this way, but I mean, an example would be in the last few decades, we were told, kind of conditioned to address things dramatically. Like anything doesn't go our way, it's pretty much the end of the world. It just gets our blood boiling and gets everything on the outside. It seems like people are beginning to realize that that kind of reaction is probably not necessary anymore. So the world is kind of coming down. I mean, this is on the emotional level, and of course on the physical level. I think the wars that we are seeing, even though they're awful and tragic and horrific to go through, but in a way that could be viewed as something, as the world cleaning up. I hope. Is it true? Is it true that we're kind of like winding down and in kind of like a cleanup mode before something huge is about to happen?
That's interesting. I didn't think of that. The world is calming down?
Well, cleaning up.
That would be good. You could describe it as a cleanup, final, last minute preparations, or a healing crisis. Before the actual cure, there is a healing crisis, right? The fever goes up very high and then it breaks and you start to heal. So right now the fever is very high. Everyone is feverish. Everyone is sweating. But that is a healing crisis. So that's an optimistic thought. That's useful. The world has been struggling and didn't seem to be going anywhere. Nothing ever gets resolved. Wars just continue from here to there. But now it seems like let's get this fever over with, because afterwards the cure will happen. We got to be optimistic. There's no other way. It's not even debatable. Well, how can you be optimistic? How dare you not be optimistic if you hope to win? So framing it in the context of an illness that is working its way out, or a world that needs to be completed, finished, touched up, and this is the final touching up. This is the final. That's good. Any positive way of seeing that we're going somewhere, something is happening. We're not just drowning.
Rabbi Friedman, if we look at the economy, we kind of can see just by the economy that things are winding down. Even though we can't really say that people are making less money, but it seems like people need less things because the economy is definitely reflecting it. The buying power is going down. Less action from average people. I'm not saying big corporations, but on the ground level, things are kind of winding it down, and people are realizing they don't need that much. How can we address that? Is that a negative or a positive?
I really don't know. Would it be correct to say that the wealth, the affluence, is so great that if we lose half of what we have, we'll still be okay?
Yeah.
But back in the 30s, when the market crashed, we just had enough to live on, and if you lose that, people jumped out of the windows. People aren't jumping out of windows. We have a cushion. We have so much we can afford to lose half or a third and still be able to live. So we're not becoming suicidal. It's a much healthier place to be. Can't compare ourselves to the 30s. And besides, like you're saying, it's like the world is It's resetting itself, recalculating, it's rebooting to where maybe money won't be that necessary. We're just stuck in the habit of thinking the only way to live is to get a job for which you get paid so that you can buy stuff. Is that really the only way?
What are other options?
The other options is harnessing nature so that nature gives us what we need, not the boss in the corporation or in the business. Or why not get directly from nature? Is that possible?
Farmers do it. But we can't all be farmers at this stage of our lives, can we?
Farmers want to get paid. They're not content eating what they produce. They want to get paid. So, can wealth be achieved in some other way? It must be possible. It makes no sense that this is the only possible way of... If we harness nature, nature can do much more for us than it's been doing. And it's been doing a lot. Every time we panicked, there's not enough wheat, there's not enough water, there's not enough air, there's not enough space, there's not enough... And it was never true. How come? How come? Whenever we need more, more appears. How does that work? Nature keeps on giving. There's no limit. Because nature really is just God's blessing. And there's no limit to God's blessing. So when we pray, like, please, please help me get a good job. All right. You got a good job. Now what? Please help me get a raise so that I come home with more money. Okay, you got more money now. Now what? Well, now the money isn't buying as much as it used to. Okay, so why did you pray for money? Why don't you pray for what you really want? You don't really want a job. You want the money. And you don't really want the money. You want what money can buy. So get to the punchline. Forget the job, forget the money. Give me everything I need. How? What do you mean, how? Through the window, through the door, through the chimney, I don't care. So we limit ourselves, we're thinking out of the box. But if we think a little bit out of the box, who says that the only way to make money is to work for the corporation, like a slave? It can't be.
Rabbi Fridman, I'm afraid that people who are listening to us right now think we're already, off the ground, that we're now in the new dimension outside of where everybody else is. I mean, how realistic is it right now for people to stop working and have the necessary sustenance that they need to live in this day and age, in this lifetime, in this world? It would be lovely for it to be over, and I think people are kind of already ready for that to happen, but...
don't give up your day job quite yet.
Yeah.
That's true, don't give up your job. But if you see it fading out, maybe that's not bad news, maybe that's good news. We have to shift, we have to change. We're squeezing all we can out of this system, let's try a different system. I mean, are people ridiculing Elon Musk for thinking about going to Mars? I mean, don't sell your house yet. It's a little ways off to get to living on Mars. But isn't it nice that people can think like that? Now, I don't expect to live on Mars or my grandchildren. But you got to be able to think like that. Who says Earth is the only place? Wow, that's thinking out of the box. And if Earth is not the only place, is it possible that the only way to make money is to work for the company? That can't be.
But has been for quite a few years.
Historically, it's not that long. The Industrial Revolution is not that old. So it's like trying to squeeze more out of a lemon than there is. Enough already. You squeezed out everything.
But it definitely made people a lot wealthier than they have been before the Industrial Revolution, and people kind of got the taste for it.
Right. And it proved that before the Industrial Revolution, we were thinking tiny and had no idea how much wealthier we could be. Well, why do we think that we've reached the end now? If you think this is a good system, wait till the new one comes. It's got to be progress. So to think this is it, this is the only system, and you just got to keep squeezing it and driving it, not necessary.
Unfortunately, I guess that this system has stopped working already. It's just people have not caught on to that concept just yet. And of course, I'm not the expert. I'm an observer. And as an observer, those who are observing can tell that this system is not working for everybody. It's working for a few, it's working for some, but it's definitely not working for everybody. Rabbi Fridman, what do you think about the fact that people took out a $7 million commercial during the Super Bowl, which says, let's feed the hungry? Okay, there are people starving out there, yet we're destroying food supplies. We're telling farmers to destroy part of their crop, and yet some people out there are taking out $7 million commercials, 30 seconds, to tell the world that there are people going hungry somewhere. I mean, is this another form of lies and stupidity, or is it something valid that is happening in our time and not everybody just is caught up?
I hope whoever did that, whoever dished out that money, is going to do a follow-up and see how successful this commercial was. If it produces a strong reaction where hunger is eliminated or diminished, $70 million worth, then you were successful.
Seven.
If not,
seven is still a lot.
$7 million worth of improvement, that would be great. If there was no improvement, then shame on you. Bad investment.
All right, then let's follow up with an anti-Semitism 30-second spot that was also aired for $7 million. Is that money well spent?
We shall see. Follow it up.
How do we follow up that one?
Well, has there been a reduction? $7 million worth of reduction? If not, you made a bad investment. It's dollars and cents. You paid for a product and you didn't get it. You paid for improvement and it didn't happen. Well, then you were tricked, misled, bad investment. Have you heard any reaction?
I've asked around, and basically all I'm getting is opinions. Some people say, well, it's good to raise awareness this way. By the way, the commercial was not even really about anti-Semitism. I don't know if you saw it. It was there was a lot of messages there. For 30 seconds, if you have a message, you need to put it out very clearly, otherwise it gets very mingled. And this message has been pretty mingled, even though I'd got a lot of PR prior to airing that, something like that is going to be taken out. And Martin Luther King's writer was the main character in this commercial, the main spokesperson. So again, I did not find this to be very targeted anti-Semitic spot from what I've seen. The conversations about it were more useful than, in my opinion, just my opinion, than the commercial itself. But I'm not sure if $7 million is the best way to spend the money to raise awareness about what's going on, if it's actually something that's going to bring the desired results. That's just, again, my opinion, but I would love to know yours so much more.
No, did you get any calls of people saying, I used to be more anti-Semitic, but now that I've heard that, I'm a little less anti-Semitic?
Well, I didn't get calls like that.
But isn't that what we're trying to accomplish? Has anybody in Washington changed their vote? If not, then what did you just buy?
Well, if we're speaking of Washington, then unfortunately the position regarding Israel is not going in a better direction than it was before the commercial, but I did not expect the commercial to make any difference. So unfortunately, right now, again, conversations of ceasefire, but, and I actually wanted to ask you something a little bit more on the spiritual side. There has been a lot of videos circulating on YouTube saying that Rabbi Rayatz has made a prediction that when we will win over Gaza, that is the time that Mashiach is going to come. Is that valid, or is it wishful thinking?
If it's wishful thinking, I'm all for it.
But did he actually say that? Do we know?
I don't know. Did he say Aza? Did he say Tzur, which is Tyre? Because there is such a statement that when Tyre falls, Jerusalem will be rebuilt. So maybe it's really Lebanon that we should be focusing on, not Hamas. But we'll do whatever we need to do, and the results are going to be fantastic. But we could make them better if we actually did it God's way. It's always better that way. So rather than leaving it all to God, if we could do what we're empowered to do, it's New York.
It seems like you're situated somewhere in Times Square, Rabbi Fridman.
Right out in the street.
Oh boy. New York is a busy town. Another thing I wanted to address. We're living right now in a very, very strange time as far as what is happening everywhere, how we are interacting. It seems like it's just something that I thought about, that there's the 9th commandment, I shall not bear for false witness, that we're not supposed to kind of be lying, basically. If I understand it correctly, maybe a little bit too literal, but I would like to think, lying is not a good thing. And it seems like everything in the world right now is one big lie. Everything, people just say things and it's not logical. There's no support behind certain statements, but people are just putting statements out there. And some people listen, other people, their eyes pop out. I mean, what is it? How are we supposed to live in a world where we don't know what's true, what's not? Again, we right now we have to look at the news. It's not pleasant, but we do want to know what's going on in the world, how the wars are going. I mean, unfortunately, but so we can't ignore it. But everywhere we look, it's all false witness. Everybody is saying something that probably is not true. How do we live in a world like that?
That's not a life. That's not a world. And it wouldn't be so terrible to shut down the radio or whatever.
Not the radio, everything else.
Don't listen to the news for a while. It wouldn't be terrible. Because of what you're saying. Everything you're hearing, you can't believe anyway, so what are you listening to? You want to know what is the lie of the day? What is today's falsehood? What's the difference? It's all a lie. It really is. And this is one of the predicted signs of the times before Mashiach. Truth will go missing. It's not just there are lies. There's nothing but lies. I don't know if that ever existed before. There's no respect for truth. And that's the truth. Nobody has any respect for truth anymore. It's like, truth is not better than the lie. And what's true anyway? Who knows? There's nothing true. There is no truth. There's just lies, and whoever lies better wins.
Rabbi Friedman, why? Why is it happening? Why? How did we get to this point? Why is it happening? Why did lying become the it thing?
Well, I can trace it back to the 50s where people were arguing, the leaders, the thinkers, were arguing that there is no absolute truth. Truth is relative. Relative to what? To you, this is true. To me, that's true. So which one is really true? There is no really true. Pick your truth and follow it. That seemed kind of neutral, safe, reasonable, no more dogma. It felt like an improvement in people's thinking. But look what it led to. There is no absolute truth. There is no certain truth. There is no reliable truth. So there might as well not be any truth at all. And there we are. This is where we are now. Truth is itself a lie. If you say, I know the truth, you're lying. So,
yeah.
What is the solution? Let's go back to before we caused the damage. Before we came up with this brilliant idea that truth is relative, we had the idea, the notion, that there is a truth that is absolute, undeniable, non-negotiable. True is true is true, and that's it. Okay, so what was that? Truth means that which always was and always will be. Do we know anything that always was and always will be?
Or
not the universe. It didn't always exist. There was a time it didn't. So it is not the truth. It's real, but it's not the truth. So things that are temporary are real. And you have to deal with it, you have to live with it, and so on. But real is not the same as true. Because lies are very real. You are really a liar. That doesn't make it true. So true means that which not only is, but can't not be. What can't not be? God. That's the definition of God. Something that is because it is and it can't not be. Now the big debate is, so who is God? What is God all about? What do we know about God? Is it relevant to our lives? So if God is true, what does that mean for me? So he's true and I'm not? Where do we go from there? That's where the Torah comes in. The communication between that which is true and that which is not is in the Torah. Torah conveys truth from the source of truth to the world that is not itself true. There's your Torah. That's what the Bible is. We can go back to it so easily now that we've realized that truth is necessary. A live and let live morality is not true. And therefore, it's not going to work. It sounds nice, but... So what's the alternative to live and let live? Live the truth and get others to live the truth. How? Truthfully. How's that for a stretch? If we're going to live by truth and inspire others, well, the only way to do it is truthfully. No more gimmicks, no more hyperbole, no more dramatics, just the simple truth. It's powerful.
So, Rabbi Fridman, just to reiterate, when we wake up every morning in the world of untruth, the mantra is, be truthful in this untruthful world, and it's going to get us to a good place, because it's all these years we've been kind of trying to adjust and kind of maybe navigate this untruthful world in order to succeed in it. So are we in a different realm right now?
Well, it's be truthful about the truth. Being truthful is the method. But where are you trying to arrive at? What are you trying to accomplish? You're trying to bring the truth into focus. The only way to do it is truthfully. In other words, believe in the value and power of the truth. So if what you're telling me is true, why are you shouting? Why are you using gimmicks? Because you don't believe in the power of the truth, and you think you can enhance it. Well, that's what Christianity did. That's what Islam did. Everyone who tried to improve on the truth. Why do you need to improve on the truth? Because you don't think the truth is working. So you need some gimmick. The truth is not enough. You need a reward. The truth is not enough. You need to threaten people. Beat them up. Well, if you need to do that, then you don't believe in the truth either. So the first thing is trust the truth because it's really powerful. If you believe the truth is powerful, then say it. Say it. Don't scream it. Don't rap it. Don't make a song out of it. Don't make a movie out of it. Tell the truth and tell it truthfully, artlessly, and let it have the effect that truth can have. It's not you, it's the truth that is going to win the day. So don't be cute.
But isn't it a dangerous territory because we've been used to saying that the truth is in the eye of the beholder and everybody's got their own eyes there? How do we get to the truth?
Well, you got to find something that most people will agree is true, but haven't had the courage to trust it. If I have to argue with you whether it's true, we got too far to go. Let's talk about the things we agree is true and use it in our daily lives as the most powerful vitamin, the most powerful nutrient in life. We've neglected it. But not to start a debate as what's true. I'm going back to that. Avraham did that when he broke his father's idols. That was 4,000 years ago. We're not going backwards to that. If you still believe in idols, then let's not have this conversation. But if you don't believe in idols anymore, and you know that there's only one God, then let's use it. Let's apply it to our lives. Truthfully. In practical terms, actual terms, there is a chosen people. We've always known that. The world knows that. Should we debate as to whether the chosen people are no longer the chosen people and that the non-chosen people have become chosen people? No. Not going there. There is a chosen people. And when you're chosen, and it does not end. God doesn't make mistakes. So, who are the chosen people? The Jews are the chosen people. I'm not going to argue with you about this. The Torah is the Word of God. Oh, maybe it was written by 3 authors. I'm not going there. Everybody knows that the Torah is the Word. At least, everyone knows that the Torah claims to be the Word of God. Nothing else does. The great works of Shakespeare do not claim to be the Word of God. So, Torah is the only communication from God that claims to be that. To everybody, Jews, Christians, and Muslims. So, the Eastern religions don't disagree with the Torah. They don't have an alternative Torah. So nobody really can argue the fact that the Torah is the Word of God. Who thinks that it's not? A few professors?
Still people out there, unfortunately.
Yeah. And it's an absurd assumption. It's like saying, I believe there is no God. What do you believe in? There is no God. And what is the proof? I've never seen him. You build a philosophy on something you never saw? This is silly. It's childish.
Well, the difference is before these philosophies were every so often. Nowadays, it's every couple of minutes or so. Different philosophies, different truths that are just coming out there. Rabbi Fridman, I gotta say, I think we pretty much have had it with it. It seems to be the popular opinion. It's like, oh, enough already. It needs to be over and done with. So, hopefully, we're almost there. Every day, I personally look at the news to see if Mashiach has arrived. That's the news I'm looking for. And that's the news I'm hoping for.
You gotta check the news to see if sanity broke out somewhere and is spreading. A new pandemic. A pandemic of truth. Simple truth, because truth is always simple.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you for focusing us, because every day we kind of lose it amongst this insanity and insanity. And thank you, Rabbi Fridman, for focusing us once a week and allowing us to really find the truth, because this is, I believe, what everybody is looking for.
And recognizing that a lie is a lie is the other side of the truth coin. Knowing what isn't true is half the truth. If somebody said to me, "Don't talk to me about God. We don't know anything about God. God is a complete mystery." I said, "Why is he a mystery?" "I'm God." "I'm not a mystery." He said, "Oh, come on, be serious." I said, "Oh, you know for sure that I'm not God?" And you do know something about God. So if you know what a counterfeit dollar looks like, you must know what the real dollar looks like. So far we can recognize the counterfeit, which is progress. People all over the world are saying, this is all false. It's all false. That is great news. If you know what's false, you're starting to know what's true.
That's a great way of looking at things, Rabbi Fridman. Thank you. Thank you for the positivity, for refocusing us on the good, and for giving us, of course, this hopeful outlook on life, which is very important because it's very easy to lose these days, unfortunately. And really appreciate what you're doing for us and for the rest of the world. You do this on a daily basis, and it's amazing. Thank you so much.
Isn't it interesting that the only truth left is on the radio?
Well, during this hour, for sure.
Whatever truth there is, it's on the radio. It's not in television. It's not in movies. It's not in newspapers. Only radio.
Well, I don't know. Soros has now bought the second largest cluster of radios in the United States. Well, he got a big stake in it, so I don't know. I don't know if that's going to change it. Huh?
Right. He realized it too.
So maybe now we can only hope that he'll find the truth and let everybody knows about it, because he is the ultimate creator of illusion and whatever, his own truth. So, but anyway, thank you so much. Thank you for this time that you allocate for us, and thank you for the wisdom and amazing, Rabbi Fridman. Just be well, and may next time we speak, we will give a lot more good news to our community and to the world. Thank you so much. Thank you. Ну а всем, кто нас сейчас слушал, огромное спасибо. Спасибо, что вы с нами. Спасибо, что вы ищете правду и хотите быть радостными и делиться этой радостью с другими, потому что на самом деле это, наверное, сегодня лучший подарок, который мы можем принести этому миру. Так что с этими словами я, Аня Пекерман, передача Thank God It's Tuesday, прощается со всеми и желаем хорошей недели. До следующего раза.
WWPR 105.1 FM HD2 New York.